your basketball journey started.
How my basketball journey started. It all started when I was probably right when I was born. Really, my dad always put me. He started training back in my house, and I always was doing different dribbling drills or shooting outside in our hoop outside. And then when I came to around 7 years old, I joined a local rec league at my local church, the school I went to, Holy Cross. And that's where I really started playing organized basketball at the age of 7. And that's when I started to play under a referee and things like that. And so I just started off from there. And then after that, I started to fall in love with the game. And I started to play more often, not only in that league, but I started to travel around earlier elementary school. And yeah.
How your high school and PolyTech?
Basketball at PolyTech was great. Played under my high school coach, Coach Pierce. And my freshman year, I actually was able to make varsity right away. And I had an unfortunate end that I had a fractured fibula on the second game of the season, our first home game against our rival school. And that put me out for the rest of the season. So my freshman year was cut short, and then COVID hit. And then my sophomore season, we had a shortened season where we only had, I believe, 14 games before the playoffs started. Usually it's 20. And that year I did pretty good. I think I got second team all conference as far as accolades go. And we were only in the first round of the playoffs. But we had a really young team, and I was able to be elected captain already as my sophomore year went. And I played with a fellow teammate of mine that was in the same class as me, Xavier Brewington. He's playing in college now as well. And then I also played with Darrell Little, who transferred from another school my junior and senior year, who just got Player of the Year recently. They just won the state championship, and he was Gatorade Player of the Year. So I played with a lot of great talent at PolyTech. But especially my junior year, I was able to get some noise around my name, I guess. That's when I met Coach Tab actually my junior year, and that's when I started having really solid games. I believe I had a couple 30-point games early on in the season, which was really built my name up, and YouTube videos started going out. And yeah, that year was really good as far as publicity goes, and I really started to build my confidence, and I started working really hard. And then my senior year, I was already committed to Ateneo, but I was able to still perform, and we went 16-4 my senior year. We were undefeated in our conference, and so we had a really solid season, and I also had a really good season as well. I made All-State, first team all-conference was my junior and senior year. So yeah, overall, my high school basketball career was really solid, and I was able to do pretty good.
How you recruited a national youth team?
So I had met Coach Tab, as I mentioned in my junior year. That's when I met Coach Tab, and there was a tryout for Gilas at the time at my Filipino community in DC under Coach Eric, and basically there was a tryout, and at the time I didn't know anything about the national team. I was just told to go, and I always played in the Filipino leagues, but I didn't have any really aspirations to play on the national team at the time. And then I heard about Coach Tab, and I didn't really know anything about him, so I went out and I played out this trial, and I did solid. And he built an interest on me, and then he got my contact and started talking to me, but didn't really pursue me until other schools started to have interest in me after I had those good games my junior year. And then when I started getting offers from other schools, Ateneo had offered me. And then at the same time, Paul Garcia, your twin on Ateneo, he got recruited by Ateneo at the same time as me. And so Coach Tab had come to meet me around June. And off the pitch he was able to give me and his insight for my future and what he had planned for me, I was pretty confident in what he was able to help me with going forward with my dreams and all. So I committed quickly, and after committing, Coach Dean had helped me to basically get me on the national team as well, because I was already planning on playing with the 18, but there was complications. But I was able to get on there after my commitment to Ateneo. So around that time in August when the tournament was, I was able to join late into the training camp, I guess, and I was able to play under Coach Josh. And we had that run that was unfortunately cut short. But love my experience with the national team. It was great.
How's experience playing in the UAAP so far?
I don't have much experience, as a lot of people pointed out. I didn't get as much time on the court as I would have liked. But from what I've been able to observe, I love the intensity. I love the fire coming from both the players and the crowd, and I love the energy just surrounding the environment itself. So it's something I'm excited to be a part of come this season coming up, and I'm able to put more in what I've been able to show so far. That I'm just going to be able to display that rather than be on the sidelines, which isn't fun, of course. But I know it's, of course, all part of the process. I know at the time I wasn't as ready as I am now, and I'm not even saying I'm ready now. I'm just saying that I know I'm constantly improving, and that when that time comes and that coach is able to put me out there, that I'm going to be able to perform, and I'm not going to question my abilities. So as far as experience, I've loved what I've been able to see, what I've been able to observe, and from what I've done so far, it's not what I would like, of course. But I know I'll be able to get there as long as I just stick with stay the course, as long as I stay the course.
Can you share an assist with Jon Lastimosa?
Yeah, so I got in the last few minutes of that Adamson game, and that was the play-in, I believe. And I wasn't too familiar with him, so I didn't know how much of a legend he was. That's my mistake. I'm not too, I guess I didn't know he was really a legend. And so afterwards it was brought to my attention, but in the moment, what I thought to myself was, if I get this rebound and I bring it up the court, I'm going to wait for the clock to go out, finish the game, we're going to win the game. But then all of a sudden I turn to my right and I look at my bench and everyone's screaming at me to give him the ball. And I'm thinking to myself, what? Like, why would I give him the ball? I'm about to get a turnover. And so after looking at everyone and I saw Coach Tab not really tell me no, I was like kind of feeling peer pressure. So I just was like, okay, whatever, I'm going to give him the ball. He was able to have that moment, and I guess all the people were happy about it, so I guess it's not too bad. And then I always knew, I always heard about him, but I wasn't too familiar. And so after that, I was able to see how much he was able to give to the UAAP community and everything. So now I know that, and I know I was able to give him that last one in the UAAP.
Who is Ateneo teammates you learn the most?
That's the teammate I learned from. I think it could be Gab. Gab's helped me a lot. He's what we would say, he was my vet, and he took me under his belt. And a lot of the time when I was struggling with things, he would explain it to me. And I would kind of pay attention to how he would play the game and flow because of his experience and all. So I've learned a lot from Gab. I've learned a lot from Chris, our captain, of course. Chris has been someone that, of course, he's our captain, but I've also built a bond with him as well, that he's been able to. Earlier on, when I was struggling with the newer concept and things like that, he was always willing to help and to help me learn things quicker. And also, Ian Espinosa, our older point guard, Ian helped me a lot, and it still helps me a lot. I mean, him go at it every day at practice, and we're always competing with each other. But even though we're competing with each other, he's still someone I look up to because of his intensity and how he's able to play the game as well. I really, So Ian's someone that's always helping me as well and giving me advice. Those three, I would say.
Why you choose jersey 2?
My number?
Whoa.
Growing up, I was actually number 3 for a while, and then I was always I was fluctuating 2 and 3, but I've always stuck with 2 because as a kid I was the biggest Kyrie Irving fan, and who's not a fan of Kyrie? He's very influential to the game, of course, and so I always wanted to play like him, and despite that not really carrying out, I don't think I play that much like Kyrie Irving. I always stuck with 2 as my lucky number, so I've had that since a young age.
How are you excited to be teammate with Jared Bahay?
Jared is not an unfamiliar teammate to me. Me and him played on the Ateneo together, so of course I'm excited, and it's nice to play with someone I'm already familiar with, and I know he's very talented, so to be able to share the court with that kind of talent is always exciting, and we'll be able to have 5 national team guys, 4 of the guys I played with, including Kobe, Mason, and me, and Jared, of course. So that's going to be fun, and we'll see how we're able to have chemistry on the court. So excited.
How's teammate with Joseph Obasa?
Joe's my boy. He lives next door. I can actually well, he's not in there right now, but he lives across from me. If I ever want to bother him, I just go in there and bother him. But Joe is my boy. One of my favorite teammates from season 86. He's a big friendly giant. When I first met Joe, I thought he was actually really mean looking, and he's a very he's a big, intimidating guy. So I didn't know what to expect. But Joe is one of the nicest guys I've ever met. He's a very smart guy, very intellectual. And so me and him have our jokes and mess around a lot. And yeah, Joe's a really cool guy, and also a talented player. I hope he's able to find his pro career soon, because he's a really hard worker as well. So yeah, love Joe.
Friendly question: can you beat him on one-on-one?
I don't have to prove anything for the interview. You can ask Joe himself. Me and him play one-on-one sometimes. Of course, he's 7 foot, but and that's his advantage. But I give him a run for his money sometimes. So yes, I could beat Joe.
What do you learn from Coach Tab?
Everything. It makes you look at the game in a completely different way. Like when I first got here, the amount of concepts and vocabulary that I didn't realize I never knew going into college is really crazy, because I guess in the States, the way it's formatted and the style of play, it's really talent based, that you're just gonna see who has more skill on each team, and plays aren't as much of a factor. Well, when you come here and you learn the style of Coach Tab, that's more of a EuroLeague style of play, like the European style. It makes you really think, and there's so many things that you don't realize going to basketball, and how much little details are important. So I learned so much from Coach Tab just from being here under a year, and he's a really smart guy as well, and I have my trust in him as a coach, and yeah, he's just a really smart guy. I learned a lot. Well, I can really go on and on about so many details that most people you would never think of in basketball. But yeah, he just thinks of the game differently, and it's something I've never been able to experience until coming to college.
Last question: your top 3 best players in the NBA West.
In the West, I don't really watch NBA. So top 3 NBA players in general right now, my favorite players. It could be Shea. Shea's my favorite right now. He just has a lot of swag to him. So I've been paying a lot of attention to him. He has a very smooth game. So I like Shea a lot. Of course, an easy pick. I am from Delaware, as some people may know. And if you're from Delaware watching this, of course. But Nishan Highland, Bones Highland, as you guys know. Of course, I'm going to be a fan. He's from Delaware, so big fan of him as well. I watched him playing when he was in high school, so big fan. So those two, and then I'll end the list with Kyrie. Even though he was a childhood favorite, he's still a favorite of mine. Probably the most skilled player of all time. So yeah, Kyrie. And those are 3 guards, so something I can mimic in my game. Good? All right. Thank you so much. If you need anything, just text my phone, all right?
Thank you for watching.